Lloyd Paster, and this is my wife, Kathy. And interestingly enough, today is our wedding anniversary. And so this is the first time both of us have been in a video since our wedding night. We've been married 22 years and originally from New York. And then?
And I'm Kathy Paster. As Lloyd said, we are celebrating our 22nd anniversary. We met in New York. We were introduced by two different friends who were both professional. We shared the same profession, and we were both in training programs. And I was friends with the wife, and Lloyd was friends with the husband. And
happily ever after.
and here we are. I grew up with a mother who adored books, and so from a very, very early age, she taught me to read and just spent hours and hours and hours, reading to me, and books were one of the most wonderful things, that I can remember in my childhood.
I've always been a reader as far back as I can remember, and one of the main places of my childhood was the main branch of the Brooklyn Public Library in Grand Army Plaza. They had an unbelievably beautiful children's library, and it felt like it was a second home.
So growing up in my home, the house was full of books, and it was really every room in the house there were books. My father kept having to put up more and more bookshelves and get more bookcases. It started in the living room, and then it was in the center hall and each of our bedrooms, and then it actually got into the dining room, where the two walls in the dining room were full of bookcases, and the back hall. And my mother was a real collector, and when my parents had to move out of that apartment because of some health issues, we tried so hard to donate. There were probably 3,000 to 4,000 books, and we were able to give a bunch to the library, but they just didn't have the space to take that many books, so we donated to hospitals and we donated to nursing homes. And it also led me to feel that rather than continue to just collect books on my own, that I would rather come to the library and take books out and donate things to the library, but just kind of borrow the books and then return them, as opposed to kind of collecting them in my home. So I've always loved coming to the library, and it is again one of the greatest things, because I always have to be reading a book, and it was also a place where I was able to take my first computer class, and I very reluctantly entered into the world of the internet and computers, but it has been a wonderful, wonderful, world to be opened up to, and we get a lot of help from our librarians at the branch when we run into problems, and they're always able to answer a question and help us figure things out. There's some tutoring here in Willow Glen. I've done the tutoring once or twice, and that's really been helpful. So.
Well, it's kind of funny. We've moved around a bit in the last number of years, and I would say virtually from the moment that we get handed the keys to our new home, our next trip is to the library to get our library cards. That is Kathy's tradition. We do that literally before we do anything else. We get the phone on, the electricity on, and then we head to the library to get our library cards. We were originally from New York. Then we started in the New York Library, and then we lived together in a small city on Long Island, which had a wonderful library, and the county had a wonderful library system. And then Santa Fe, New Mexico, and then
Aptos, near Santa Cruz, and San Jose, where we are staying.
I didn't think before about why we go to the libraries first, but one of the things about moving around a lot is it really takes time to feel like you've kind of have a center, and you're really located in a new area, and there are always things that you do that make you feel more kind of settled in and rooted. And for us, it seems that libraries really kind of have that meaning to us. And I think that's one of the reasons that we kind of always hit the libraries first. It's really a way of, okay, we're now kind of located in this new place and no longer strangers here, and that's what libraries mean to us in that way too.
One of the things that I look forward to the most when I visit the Willow Glen Library, aside from the fact that it's very appealing and attractive, I love the glass and the light and the beautiful little stained glass windows, is most of the staff, because we come a lot and we're friendly, especially me, but Lloyd is friendly too, but I'm very kind of talkative.
It would be hard to be as friendly as Kathy. She's really friendly. I'm nice, and friendly, but I'm not really friendly.
So I like to really kind of, talk to the people that I see regularly and just kind of, always get to know them a little bit. So it feels, like really like friendly people and friends, that you get to see, regularly and to say hi to and how are you, and that they see us a lot and we see them a lot, and it's just a really nice warm feeling.
I think the same for me. It's part of feeling again like you're really in a neighborhood, and that's what we both grew up with in New York, and the feeling that when you went places, people knew you and recognized you, and you kind of have an ongoing conversation with them, even if it's just brief and small. It really feels that there's a connection. And that those connections are they're always so valuable, but particularly as you're trying to kind of settle in to a new place, it really feels important, at least feels important to me. So, and we just love it here. It's just a beautiful setting, and it's a really nice place to be.
A city without a library would be kind of like the desert without any water source, it really would. It would be very, very barren. Not good. It wouldn't be.
A city without a library would be a city without me in it.
A library adds value to a city because it's such an amazing resource, and there's so many things that are offered, at libraries, and different programs and information that you can get. Very, very valuable.
And I think the other thing that a library offers is that it's there's a social aspect to being in a library. Even if you're there alone and reading, there's still something social about it.
The library was an important part of my life because I love to read so much, and so in order to keep up with being able to find new authors and new books and just explore all different kinds of worlds that were available to you, it was such a gift.
For me, the library's been an important part of my life, literally at every junction of my life. As a child, again, it was just a place to always be, and then when I was working on my doctorate in graduate school, virtually lived in the library between classes, and then working on my doctoral dissertation at a time when there were no computers. Literally everything was done hands-on in the library with journals and searches, and having reference librarians help out. And virtually, I guess that was a couple of years where I probably spent as much time in the library as I did in my home. And now, being semi-retired, we have a lot of time, and the library again is really like a second home. Seeing the same people, the library staff all the time, and working with the books, working with our computers at the library. And the library now is where I learned how to work on computers. So there hasn't been a point in my life where the library hasn't really been just really central to almost everything.